Rick Santorum has a gift, as he calls it, for kids from Central America and South America. Rick, take it away.
And when we say we need to send people back, I mean we send people back. And let me just make one point. I was in Storm Lake, Iowa the other day, near a Tyson's plant. 91% of the kids that go to elementary school there are minority kids. And they said, well, what are you going to do with all these people, their families? They've lived here for a long time. I said, I'm going to give them a gift. I'm going to give them a gift of being able to help the country they were born in. And we're going to export America. The education they were able to receive. They learned the English language. They learned about capitalism. They learned about democracy. You want to stop the flow of immigrants? Let's send 6 million Mexicans, Hondurans, Guatemalans, El Salvadorans back into their country so they can start a renaissance in their country so they won't be coming over here anymore.
Okay. He just said that deportation is a gift. And it's a gift for kids from El Salvador and Guatemala and Honduras. For those of you who don't know, some of those places literally have a higher murder rate than Iraq did during the height of the Iraq War. That's a stunning fact. It's an unbelievable fact. When I first heard it, I didn't believe it. I went and I checked. Turns out it's true. So Rick Santorum is bragging and boasting about, I got something for him. I got a gift for him. Go back to the place where you'll almost certainly die and go run into the arms of the drug gangs. You're going to deport them to countries with a drug war going on right now and a higher murder rate than Iraq during the Iraq War? Are you fucking crazy, man? Are you crazy? And this guy likes to pretend like he's the most Christian out of everybody in the race. No, Rick, you only care about Christianity when you can use verses to back up your own crazy far right-wing ideology. And there are plenty of those verses, don't get me wrong. He has theological backing for the shit that he says. But he also disregards Jesus on economics. You know, the guy who's flat out anti-rich and totally in favor of the poor and helping the poor. He pretends like that part doesn't exist. And he pretends like the part about immigrants don't exist. You know, this is another area where the Bible's perfectly clear. Hey, you have to treat the immigrants, the sojourners, as if they are your brother. Let them in your house. Care for them. They're your neighbor. You cannot do any wrong to them. He's like, I'm going to deport you back to a drug war where you'll almost certainly die. And then also, look, man, so let's say, you know, you're a cold-hearted prick and you were going to advocate for this. At least also have the common sense to realize what the fucking problem is and to make their country safer. How would you make their country safer? Now, you guys know me. I'm not a nation builder. I don't want to go there and be directly involved and, you know, whatever, build infrastructure and all this stuff there. No, I want nothing to do with that. But the least we could do is stop the fucking drug war. Because there's a reason why you have incredible violence in these places. Because since drugs are illegal in the U.S., you've given the drug cartels a monopoly. When you give them a monopoly, you give them all the money. They become much more powerful. And oftentimes, they buy a lot of the politicians in these places too. And they control things. You know, some places in Mexico, it's just flat out a narco state. They have mega cartels at this point, which replace the other cartels, which were bad enough. So the least you could do, if you're going to deport kids, at least end the drug war so that you starve the cartels of money and they eventually collapse. And then after that, we can start, you know, they can start building up their own country and having industries other than drugs that, you know, are better industries and more healthy industries for the people of their countries. But this is, you know, Rick Santorum 101. Say the craziest, most callous, cold-hearted shit imaginable, and then talk about how much you love Jesus and act like, you know, you're the open-minded one and open-hearted one, and everybody else is crazy. No, Rick, I think you should look in the mirror.